Police say investigations into the deaths of the patrons at Enyobeni tavern in East London are still ongoing. This after the tragic death of 21 people between the ages of 13 and 20 on Sunday morning. Police dismissed reports of carbon monoxide being the cause of death, saying that forensic tests have not yet been concluded. For more on this story, we now cross to our reporter Kim Daniels, who's in East London.
Good afternoon and thank you. As you can see in front of me, my colleague Natasha Makutulu, the videographer, is showing you videos of church members who have come out and shown their support. The church, communities and family alike are all distraught about the untimely deaths of these young people, occurred on Sunday morning at this Enyobeni tavern. We are actually outside the tavern. I'm not sure if my colleague can pan that way. We're in a very tight space. But yeah, they are here to show their support. Memorials have been happening this entire week. There was a candlelight service yesterday and another one will occur later this afternoon. We had spoken to some of the neighbors that live in this area here at this tavern, and they did say that it's an occurrence for young people to be drinking at this tavern, and not just this tavern but taverns throughout the area and throughout East London as a whole. They say there are no activities for the young people. The only thing they see is alcohol and drinking, so these are the activities they partake in. As I said, later this afternoon there will be another candlelight service just in memorial and remembrance of these young people who did pass away. Earlier today, forensic was here combing through the tavern just to see if there was any evidence that was left behind. The police had cornered off the area. No one is allowed in. Us as media was also chased out earlier. Yeah, so that's what's been happening this afternoon. If you can see, the church members are praying and preaching just in support and giving their love to the families who have lost their loved ones.
Okay, that's what I'm watching on. Which output?
Kim Nompu in studio here. I hope you can hear me. Just to get the latest from you around when a possible funeral for all of the victims will take place. Will it be a mass funeral or will there be individual funerals? And also, I mean, it's been a whole full days. What's taking so long for us to, for the word to come out as to what the cause of the death of these youngsters was?
Speaking to the police spokesperson earlier today, Brigadier Kinana, he had alluded to the fact that there will be a mass funeral. We are speculating around next week, Wednesday or so. So all those who had passed on Sunday, they will have their funerals together. When I asked him about the toxicology report, obviously for the cause of death, he had alluded to the fact that these things do take time, and it's not something that they want to rush. It's something that they want to get right the first time and not just rush because people are looking for answers. He does understand the anxiety, and obviously the loved ones of the victims, the families of the victims, obviously want to know what happened, to their children. But he had just pleaded with them for calm, for patience, just so that they can get those results. And as soon as they have those results, it will be they will be notified about it.
Okay, we ready to go?
As I said earlier, we are at eNyobeni tavern here in East London, and the church has come out to show their support and share their grievances with the family and the lost ones. I'm joined now with the bishop from the church. Hi sir, can you just introduce yourself and tell us what church you're from?
I'm Lukolo Mantindi. We are with our bishop. I am the vice. Our bishop, his name is Reverend Sibidla Nompitizelo. She is here with us. She has come to lay flowers, to lay the wreath on behalf of the Methodist Church of Southern Africa.
How does the church feel about this tragedy that happened here on Sunday?
We are in pain. We are with the families. We have come also to pass our condolences and empathy to all the families who have lost their young ones. We feel their pain because some of the children who died here are part of us. They're worshiping with us in the Methodist Church, and so that's why we're here. That's why we've come to cry with the community as well.
As a church going forward, is there anything that you are doing for the families or working with the families to provide counseling of any sort?
Yes, we are definitely working with the families. Yesterday we were part of a team that came to provide groceries for the families. We provide counseling to the families, and even post funerals we will be with the families, moving together with them. So it's part of who we are as a church, moving together from pain, from a place of discomfort to a place of healing and comforting the families as well. Thank you.
Bishop, thank you very much for your time. And that was the Vice Bishop of this Methodist Church, who has come out to show their support, to give love. They say they feel the pain of these families, of these loved ones. You must remember, the young people that died were of a very young age between 13 and 20 years. We found out last night that the last of the bodies were claimed and identified by their loved ones. They were accounted for. So everyone now knows who were the ones who had passed and who were the ones that had survived. We had spoken earlier, as I said, to some of the neighbors, saying it is not an uncommon occurrence for these young people to go to taverns such as these, that there aren't any regulations. Speaking to the liquor board yesterday, they also said that they do not condone underage drinking, and they do not condone that the taverns should have stricter measures to make sure that everyone in the establishments are of age. As we can see now, the church are laying down the wreaths, speaking a few words of encouragement, sending out their love and sympathies to the families of those who had lost their loved ones nearly a week ago. Earlier today, we also saw forensics who were on the scene, that were combing through eNyobeni tavern. They were looking for, any miscues, any evidence that may help them out what exactly had happened. I'm not sure if my colleague Natasha can just show the forensics over there, chatting with some of the police. They're looking for any kind of evidence that can point to a cause of death. And, this is one of the questions, a burning question that's been on the minds of all South Africans. What exactly happened here on the early hours of Sunday morning? Speaking to the municipality yesterday about zoning issues and bylaws, they were saying that the original plans for this tavern was for it to be a house as it is in a place of residence. Its new renovations were never approved or applied for at the municipality, so the tavern in itself is illegal.
So Kim, given what you've just told us about the fact that there was no license to trade in the first place, and the liquor board also making a charge of underage, serving underage people drinks and so on and so forth, what has happened to the tavern owner? I mean, has he been arrested, or is he still, roaming around?
Thus far, no arrests have been made because the police don't know what kind of case to open up as yet. The tavern in itself had a legal liquor license because according to the liquor board, that zoning issues are not a requirement for liquor license. So even though they operate in a residential area, they obtain their liquor license legally. The fact that they were underage patrons drinking at the establishment, there are penalties towards that we are still unclear of. I was speaking to the liquor board yesterday, as I said, and there was an act in play, an act that was established in 2003 that allows, with the applications of the liquor licenses, these are now being reviewed at and making measures more strict so that it's not that easy to obtain these liquor licenses. I'm not sure if you guys can still hear me, but another memorial service will take place at the same venue later this afternoon at around 4, also in support of those who had lost their lives on Sunday. These memorial services have been happening the entire week. As I said, not just the families and the loved ones of the victims, communities, churches, everyone who's read the story, and a lot of it has hit home because these stories are very, very relatable.
All right, Kim, we're going to leave you there. My colleague Kim Daniels outside the Enyobeni Tavern for us, where a prayer service is taking place.